Hello, this is a review video for you before you take your Chapter 6 test in Intermediate Algebra. And problem number 1 for us to review, it says find the domain of the given rational function. So to find the domain, we are going to solve the equation that says the denominator of the fraction does not equal 0. We'll have to divide both sides of that equation. Well, no, we can't do that. 3 does not go into that equation. So we could, if you have a problem that no number goes out of the 3 terms in it, then you can multiply the first number times the last number, and you'll get negative 36. Then you break that apart into 2 numbers which add up to equal the number in the middle. So how about negative 18 and positive 2? Then you use those same 2 numbers at the end of 2 pairs of parentheses, and in the beginning of the parentheses you put then 3x squared, except you take off the square. So you put 3x and 3x. Then you have to eliminate any common factor. So 3 divided by that, you'll be left with x minus 6 times 3x plus 2. And now that equation does not equal 0, so we'll have that. So that means that x minus 6 does not equal 0, and 3x plus 2 does not equal 0. So add 6 to that side, subtract 2 from there. X does not equal 6. And then if you do that, you'll get 3x does not equal negative 2. Then divide by 3. If you divide by 3, you'll get x does not equal negative 2 over 3. Then, so there's 2 numbers that are not allowed. 6 is not allowed, and negative 2/3 is not allowed, but any other number is allowed. So that part's allowed, that part is allowed, and this part is allowed. So the answer to the problem is the domain of the function is the first part, which is negative infinity to negative 2/3, union negative 2/3 to 6, union 6 to infinity, parentheses. So that's the domain of that rational function. Now let's go try problem number 2. Number 2 says 16y squared plus 7y plus 1 over 12y squared minus 5y minus 2 minus 8y squared minus 7y minus 2 over 12y squared minus 5y minus 2. So first of all, notice that the denominators are the same. That means that we can distribute this negative and combine the fractions together after we do that. So we'll have 16y squared plus 7y plus 1 minus 8y squared plus 7y plus 2. And then it'll all be over the same denominator, 12y squared minus 5y minus 2. And then we're going to combine like terms. So 16y squared minus 8y squared, then 7y plus 7y, and then 1 plus 2. So 16y squared minus 8y squared is 8y squared. 7y plus 7y is 14y. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then in the bottom, we'll just leave the bottom the same. 12y squared minus 5y minus 2. Then we'll have to factor. So in the bottom, you multiply the 12 times the negative 2, and you get negative 24. Then in order to make a number that makes negative 5, you're going to break that apart into negative 8 times positive 3. So you're going to have a negative 8 at the end, positive 3 at the end. Then you'll have the 12y and the 12y, but there's no square now. Then you'll have to eliminate a common factor of 4 and of 3, which gives you 3y minus 2 and 4y plus 1. Then we rewrite the original fraction as being 3y minus 2 divided by 4y plus 1. Then I also need to factor out the top of it, this part. So I'm going to do 8 times 3, because there's no common factor, that's 24. Now I need to break 24 down into a number that adds up to make 14, which would be 12 times 2. So I'll put 2 parentheses, the plus 12 and the plus 2 go at the end, and then I'll have the 8y and the 8y at the beginning. But then I need to eliminate a common factor of 4 and 2. That leaves me with a new result of 2y plus 3 and 4y plus 1. So I have 2y plus 3, 4y plus 1. Then, now I can cancel out the common factor from the bottom and the top. That leaves me with the final answer, which is 2y plus 3 over 3y minus 2. Now let's go on to problem 3. Three over x minus 6 plus 4 over x. This does not have a common denominator, so what we'll have to do is multiply this denominator times x minus 6, and also on the top by x minus 6. Then this denominator we'll have to multiply by x plus 7, and also on the top by x plus 7. So now both of the denominators are the same, so this equals, we'll distribute the top, so 3 times x, 3 times 7, and 4 times x, and 4 times negative 6. So it'll be 3x plus 21 plus 4x minus 24 all over x minus 6 and x plus 7. Then combine the like terms, and you'll get 7x minus 3 over x minus 6, x plus 7. There we go. Now let's try problem 4. 5x over x squared minus 49 minus 8 over x plus 7. So we have to factor out this, which that's the difference of squares. So we can factor it out into x becomes x times x in 2 separate parentheses. The negative 49 becomes negative 7 times positive 7 in 2 separate parentheses. So that eliminates this, and I've rewritten it like that. So the new problem is now 5x over x minus 7 times x plus 7 minus 8 divided by x plus 7. Now it still doesn't have the same denominator, but it's getting close. All we need to do is to put down an x minus 7 on the bottom of the second fraction, but therefore we have to put an x minus 7 on the top of the second fraction. Now they both do have the same denominators. So if I distribute this top, this times this and this times this, I would get 5x minus 8x plus 56 all over x minus 7 times x plus 7. Then combine the like terms. 5x minus 8x is negative 3x plus 56 divided by x minus 7 times x plus 7. So that's all. Then let's try number 5. So y minus 1, y squared minus 16 plus 1 minus y over 16 minus y squared. So on number 5, they're being a little bit tricky right here. So the thing is, you can reverse the signs of the bottom of the fraction as long as you reverse the signs of the top. So in other words, you can multiply the bottom by -1 as long as you multiply the top of it by -1 as well. So when we do that, then the second fraction changes to be positive y minus 1 and then positive y squared minus 16. Now, after doing that trick, the denominators are both the same. So I can add the numerators together. So y plus y is 2y, -1 plus -1 is -2, then divided by. Now let me factor out the bottom. So the bottom of it is the same, so that's going to become the same now. But then I still need to factor this out because that's the difference of squares. So it equals y becomes y times y, and -16 becomes -4 times +4. So and then you can factor 2 out of the top, so you'll have 2 times y minus 1 over y minus 4 times y plus 4. So that's the answer to that one. And the reason we factored it is because it said in the instructions, type your answer in factored form. So if it didn't want the answer in factored form, then we would have been done back here. That would have been the answer, but we needed to factor it because it said to factor the answer. Now let's try problem 6. So number 6 says 4 over 8x plus 1 minus 3 over x minus 2 plus x squared plus x over 8x squared minus 15x minus 2. So the first thing we need to factor is this last one. So multiply the first number times the last number, you'll get -16. You need to break that down into a -15, so try doing -16 times +1. So that means you get, at the end of the parentheses, you'll have -16 and +1. At the beginning, you'll have an 8x, because we take the 8x squared and then we just get rid of the square. Then we need to eliminate a common factor of 8 from that one. Then we'll have x minus 2 times 8x plus 1, like that. Then that means we can go back and we can actually erase the original denominator. So I'm going to take this denominator and just cancel it out. And then instead, I'll have this instead. So I'll have 4 over 8x plus 1 minus 3 over x minus 2. Wait. No, actually, I'm not going to write it again. Not yet, not just yet. Because there's a reason that I spaced it out at the beginning. See, after you make that new denominator at the end, now you look back at the original denominators. The 8x plus 1, it's missing an x minus 2. So I need to multiply below and above by x minus 2. And then the x minus 2 is missing the 8x plus 1, so I need to multiply by that. Now, all 3 fractions have, in the bottom, they have an x minus 2 and an 8x plus 1. So that means now I can multiply the tops of them out. So I can go distribute, 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 distribute. So I will have 4x minus 8, and then -3 times 8 is -24x minus 3 plus x squared plus x. It'll all be over the same denominator, which is 8x plus 1 times x minus 2. Then combine the like terms on the top. You'll have x squared first. Then you'll have 4x minus 24x is -20x plus x. That's -19x. -8 minus 3 is -11. And it'll still be all over 8x plus 1 times x minus 2. So we're done with that one. Then number 7. Plus x over 11 divided by x over 11 minus 11 over x. So the least common denominator is equal to 11x. So I need to multiply each of these in the top and each of these in the bottom by 11x. So 11x, 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 11x. Then I need to cross out the x and the 11 and the 11 and the x. Then you'll be left with 11 times 11 is 121 plus x times x is x squared over x times x is x squared minus 11 times 11 is 121. Then I can factor the bottom. So this is the difference of squares. So that will factor out to be x minus 11 times x plus 11. So that takes care of that. So then my new answer is x squared comes first plus 121 over x minus 11 times x plus 11. And there we go. Now, problem number 8. 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 6 divided by x minus 2 all over 7 divided by x squared minus 4. First of all, of course, I need to factor it. So we've been learning factoring. So the x squared minus 4, sorry, let me write that again. The x squared minus 4 is a difference of squares. So it breaks apart into x times x and negative 2 times positive 2. Then we can eliminate that and have that instead. Now the LCD is that, of course, so x minus 2 times x plus 2. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom, the big fraction. So this is the big fraction right here. The top side, both of those, by the LCD, x minus 2 times x plus 2. And then over here, x minus 2 times x plus 2. And then down here on the bottom, that multiplied by x minus 2 times x plus 2. So now, then we will cross out this x plus 2 with that x plus 2. This x minus 2. Cross out that one with that one, and that one with that one. So now we're left with 6 times x plus 2, which is 6x minus 12. Minus 6 times x plus 2 is negative 6x, and negative 12, and then over 7. Combine the like terms, and you'll get negative 24 over 7. And that's the answer. That's the end of your review for the Chapter 6 test. I wish the very best